it's Jackie and I'm back with another Inspired By, and this time it's Lisa Lancaster. Lisa is new to junk journaling, and she sent this pocket. If you've watched my friendship videos, you've seen these before. She sent this pocket insert and journal card, and in the back she had this tag which she'd patchworked together, and that's what I'm taking my inspiration from today, is this patchwork effect. So I'm going to put together with you a little booklet, a mini junk journal I suppose this is, using the patchwork idea as a cover. I will stitch on video, I think. We'll see how it goes, or at least some of it, but I can't actually show you exactly because of this is the only way I can get things set up, but I think you'll get the idea. So if we start off with a piece of card, I've got a piece of, mine's going to be a little smaller than Lisa's. I've got a piece of card 7.5 by 7.5, and I've cut that down, I've scored that down the middle and folded it in half. I've cut a piece of scrap copy paper the same size as the front, and that's what I'm going to do my patchwork on in a minute. And I've cut some papers for the inside. I've cut them fractionally smaller, so they are, so this is 3 3/4 by 7.5, and I've cut these papers to 3 5/8 by 7 3/8. So they're just a little touch smaller than the card. So we'll be gluing those in. I've actually matched them up. I've cut from one piece of paper, cut it down the middle so it flows across. That's not necessary. And then there's a more neutral piece for the back. Whichever way around that goes, like that. Okay, so we'll get to all those shortly and the pages. But let's start with the patchwork. So with our bit of paper here, I'm going to put a scrap underneath because I don't want to get glue on this mat. Let's just try and do it like this. So this may not show up quite so well. And what I've got here is just a pile of, I'm going to use neutrals, so I've got a pile of scraps, a small pile, I don't want too many. And I am literally just going to tear pieces off, not too small. And I'm just, at the moment, I'm just going to lay them on here. Oh, that might. Okay, so I have that piece down here. Some ledger, go. I can have that like that, maybe, or this is called faffing. This is what I do a lot. This is why I don't always show my whole process, because honestly it's quite dull. And in a way, all of this doesn't matter that much. It won't look good. It won't look good until the stitching's on it and it's sorted. So do a long piece down the middle, and then we'll fill in these other bits. Use music paper there and here, and something there. So that's the sort of general idea. Hopefully you can see that. And I'm not too worried at this stage about remembering exactly how I've got them. So what we do now is using glue stick. And again, you don't need to have too much glue. I've actually done that one the wrong way round already, but that doesn't really matter. Just take those off. This bit along the bottom. I've forgotten completely where they were all meant to be going, so I'm not going to worry about it. We'll just pop it all down, and I hope that you'll see that the finished look will work quite well. Maybe it won't. Maybe I'll have to do it again. So I have left myself, I think we'll pop that piece there. If you really like what you've stuck down, you can always take a photograph on your camera, obviously on your camera, on your phone is what I meant to say. Okay, so that's our basic patchwork, and what I'm going to do is cut all the edges off, and you'll see that that will immediately make it look better. Okay, and then I'm going to get my sewing machine and I'm going to zigzag these edges, and I'm not going to worry about where I start and finish my zigzags, so I'll end up with lots of ends, but that's fine, and I'll show you how I deal with those. Okay, so I probably should wait until that's dry. I'm going to bring my sewing machine in. This is going to be noisy. So obviously if you want to fast forward through this, please do, and I'll see if I can show you as I go along. So I've gone round there. So I've just gone down here, along here, and then I've taken it along that line there. So I'm going to stop the video now and finish this off. I'm going to do this little line, and I'm just leaving all my threads at the moment, and then I shall do this one, probably that one, and then round there. So I'll come back when I've done that and we'll see where we go from there. Okay, so let's get this finished off. That's my stitching done. I've gone round the edge with a straight seam, straight stitch, and I've just literally chopped all the ends off. We're going to be gluing this down, so it's not going to go anywhere, and this really is not meant to be a journal that lasts forever. This is meant to go in your bag, you know, for note taking, I suppose. So I'm going to glue my front piece on first, and I'm going to use this 3-in-1 glue. A little bit of protection here. I'm not sure whether watching somebody glue is like watching paint dry. I watch a lot of videos and I quite like seeing what somebody does. I like the chatty people. I'm not so hot at chatting. But I'm taking my glue around the edges. The reason I'm using an acetone based glue is that it will prevent, we won't have any curling or very little curling of the papers. It doesn't wet the paper in the same way that like a PVA glue would do, or even glue stick to an extent. So when I've cut this down, it looks to me as if I've just cut it slightly, this top piece slightly off there, but as I say, this is a really sort of disposable product, so maybe that doesn't matter too much. And then we'll do our inside pieces. So this was pretty for the inside. This is antique papery. I think it's the Nagasaki papers. I'll just do this one, then I'll finish the rest off camera. And this time on the front cover we really didn't have a gap, there was a tiny one, but this one there is a little edge, so we're positioning that in the centre. So what I'm going to do off camera is glue in my other paper piece. I'm going to glue this onto the back, and then I'm going to choose an image for my front, and I've chosen this flower fairy. The image is cut down to 2.5 by 3.5, and I've glued that onto some old book page, and I'm just going to, you could tear it off raggedy, but I think I'm going to do this method. Keep this looking relatively straight. We've got all the raggediness on the patchwork, so this sort of contrasts it a little bit. Okay, so that's that one. So we've got our image for the front, and I will be gluing that on, but before I glue it on, I'm going to zigzag round this edge, and I'll do that off camera. And then I'm going to choose some papers to put on the inside, and I've cut down some papers to 7.25 by 7.25, and I have got 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've got 4 main sheets, but I've used the offcuts from the main sheets just to fill in here. So I've actually got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pages. Folded those over and trimmed them so they're all the same size. I don't think I'm going to show you how I stitch these in. What I'll do is link you to my previous how-to video where I show you the 5-hole pamphlet stitch, and this is done in exactly the same way. So let me go and finish off and I'll show you the end result. Okay, so I'm back with the finished article. I've glued my flower fairy down. I have inked the edges of this image to make it stand out, but I haven't inked anything else. On this one I did lightly ink some of the other edges, but I've left it on this one. I've stitched my pages in, and I will direct you to the tutorial for that. I haven't done any strengthening on the spine. You could put a strip of Tyvek down the middle here, or some fabric on the back. This isn't really designed to be something that lasts for years and years. It's designed as something you pop in your bag, that's pretty to use, that you can make notes on if you're shopping. I find a notebook very useful when I'm book shopping, to note down all the titles I want to borrow rather than buy, although I do buy books. I found a bit of purple ribbon, which I'm just going to put on the front. Not sure you'd want that in your bag, but it does dress the journal up prettily. So there we are, my Inspired by Lisa's Patchwork tag. Thank you.